First of all, I would really like to thank you very much for the invitation. It is a really great pleasure for me to be today with you. As you know, Marie Curie actions are international program, and we have to cooperate. I think that this opportunity today is very good for you as a potential mentors, supervisors, as well as for candidates. As you have already heard, I'm NCP for Marie Skłodowska-Curie Action from Slovenia, and today I will share with you key information about the preparation of project proposal for the Horizon Europe Marie Skłodowska-Curie Postdoctoral Fellowship call. Since it is very difficult to present such a demanding topic in a short time, I will first try to outline the context and the formal part of the application. Then I will briefly explain some evaluation findings and conclude with some general tips. Of course, I'm at your disposal for all further questions today or later by email for any additional advice. As an NCP, I'm part of the Marie Skłodowska Action NCP network, covering all countries which are active in MSCA calls. And this is our webpage. Our job is to provide you with the information and help to prepare your MSCA proposal. You can find many useful tips on this webpage and also materials under the scientific community app. So I would really advise you to search and to find, especially MSCA Postdoctoral Fellowship Handbook is a very, very useful document. As you know, MSCA calls are part of the excellence pillar in Horizon Europe. This means that call does not contain predefined topics, but it is, of course, very recommended that you know how to connect your topic call with the current socio-economic and technological issues, especially with topics defined in European missions. So I think that this polarity between basic free bottom-up approach and try to finding social relevance is one of the main or one of the first very, very important things you have to know. The call for postdoctoral fellowships is one of the 5 calls for the development of research and innovation career published annually by the European Commission. All MSCA calls have some common features that are worth noting. First of all, this is, of course, research activities, but they are closely related to training for the development of personal careers. So research training projects. So I think that this is the words you have to remember. The second is, as I have already said, call follows a bottom-up approach, and it is intended for all scientific disciplines covered by 8 scientific panels. Third, an interdisciplinary approach is very important here. I would say it is a precondition, as well as international mobility and cooperation with non-academic sector. Fourth, the emphasis is also on attractive working and deployment conditions and on a good institutional support in project implementation. So this connection between institution, labs, and candidates are very, very important, especially in the phase of preparation of the projects. And in the end, calls also encourage cooperation with non-academic sector, with industry, small and medium enterprises, which can also prepare and implement projects as a host institution. So the call is not only for academic, but also for non-academic institutions. So this is the current call for postdoctoral fellowships, which will close on September 13. The tender is published on Funding and Tender portal, as you already know. The application form as well as submission are electronic, and all key informations or instructions for project preparation are available in this portal. The call timeline is presented here. The results are usually published in the end of February, and normally the project must start within 1 year after the announcement of the tender results. In June next year, the first postdoctoral fellowships contract can start with funding. MSCA projects are prestige projects for European doctoral and postdoctoral training. So it is very competitive call. The MSCA postdoc fellowship opens many doors to further career development and offer you a lot of opportunity. In this sense, consideration of candidates' future career development path is a very important evaluation element, and it must be reflected in the content of the training program, especially regarding soft or horizontal non-scientific skills. As you see, and as you know, Horizon Europe is an impact-driven program. So the connection with the application have to be noticed in your proposal. And in this sense, you have to refer to some basic strategic EU or national or also the institutional document. As you know, scientific quality will be evaluated together with the relevance of your topic. So in this regard, the impact on the European level or global level, as well as on the institutional level, is a very important, and during the preparation, you have to know that with your project you will promote the European global attractiveness, which is also very important evaluation criteria. On the slides, you can see the main purpose of the MSCA postdoctoral fellowship. So the keywords are excellence, training, research training project, career development path, international, intersector, and interdisciplinarity, and cooperation with non-academic sector. Those keywords are at most important, and more detailed description of those keywords you will find in work program for MSCA. This is very thin project, thin document. It is not broader, but it is very important. So you have to read it very carefully, and you have to be in a position to decode the sentences and the purpose, and to transfer into your project idea. Here you can see the main structure, the main keywords of MSCA postdoctoral fellowships sentences. which are in the work program, and I think that this is the first document you have to read, and you have to be familiar with all of these things, especially with the main principles which have to be mentioned in your project proposal. All MSCA features which are described here are very important, and you have to incorporate it all into your project document. Here you see the main eligible criteria, which are very, very simple for researchers and for host organization. For researcher, I think it is are mainly important two criteria. First of all is 8 years of research experience from the date of award of the first doctoral degree. So this is the maximum time you have to have. So, but if you spend more than if you spend more than 8 years after your PhD, you have to think if maybe all of those years are not active in research. So if you were in maternity leave, or if you are working in non-research activities, so this time is broadened. And the next one is mobility rule. So it is a rule which is connected with international mobility. So you have to move from your country to another country, and mobility rule says the researcher cannot have resided or carried out his or her main activity in the country of the beneficiary for more than 12 miles in the last 3 years prior to the call deadline. So this is the main two criteria. And for host organization, so you, of course, you have to be a research organization with scientific references. You have to be located in EU member states or countries which are associated countries to Horizon Europe, and you have to be you could be academic or non-academic organization, as I have already said. We distinguish between European and global fellowship. European fellowship is realized at a host institution located in EU member state or associated countries, but global fellowship is realized the majority of the project at a non-European institution, so third countries. This is also main distinction regarding duration. European fellowships follows to 2 years, but global fellowships is to 3 years, 2 years at a third country outside EU, and then 1 year back to the country where your host institution is located. So I think that this is important. Yes, and important for global fellowships is that the researcher needs to be a national or long-term resident of EU member state or associated countries, while for European fellowships, all nationality are welcome. So it's not any. And inside those global and European fellowships, we have 2 schemes that a candidate can apply for. schemes are not mandatory, but are an element of the evaluation process. And this is the secondment and non-academic placement. Secondment is a possibility to go up to 1/3 of the normal project duration to visit some other academic or non-academic institution to gain additional knowledge or skills. It is highly recommend to use this opportunity, especially if you would like to underline the interdisciplinary character of your project, or cooperation with non-academic sector. But non-academic placement, it is a possibility to use it after the end of the project, to go to some institutions in non-academic sector to show potential organization, what kind of results did you achieve, and how could it be important for their further development or application or even for commercialization. It is fully funded by European Commission for up to 6 months duration after the end of the MSCA postdoctoral fellowship. The application consists with 2 parts. Part A is administrative part. Part B is a substantive part. Consists excellence, impact, and implementation part. Only 10 pages. But they have to be very concise, very detailed. And with the part B2, where is no page limit, where you put your CV and explain the capacity of the participation organization. So I think that this looks very easy job, but it is not. As you will see, the evaluation criteria are very detailed, and it is a big challenge to explain your idea in a proper way for evaluators. So this is the scheme of the evaluation process. It is very common for all Horizon Europe program. There are 3 independent reviewer who will evaluate your proposal regarding to the evaluation sub criteria, and all evaluation criteria are evaluated with a description of strength and weaknesses, and in the end the consensus group will be prepared with the numbers, how many evaluation scores you will reach. So this is the cutoff score for funding by individual panels is marked in green in the columns. As I said, there is 8 evaluator panels. The reviewers is chosen regarding your keywords and panels you will set in your proposal. And as you can see, the competition is quite high. Success rate is between 15 and 18%. But in the case that your host organization is from so-called widening countries, then you have a greater chance. for postdoctoral funding. So in that case, you will your cut-off will go a little bit lower. As a widening country, for example, Slovenia receives approximately 5 additional scholarships each year. But in the case, there is also additional possibility. In the case of national or institutional funding of the Seal of Excellence, in the case that your projects obtain more than 85% of the evaluation points, the possibility of financing project proposal is even greater. Slovenia also increased the funding of MSCA postdoctoral fellowship up to 10 projects per year on account of the Seal of Excellence. And of course the cutoff score is depend on the number of the proposal, and here you can see the last year statistic. More than 7,000 proposals were received, and 1,000 were on the main list for European fellowships, and 100 and a half for global fellowships. Here you can see the distribution of proposal per panel. Social sciences and humanities, as well as life sciences, are the most biggest one. So it is not surprising. It is the trend which is more or less the same also during the Horizon Europe. Here on the table you can see the structure and the amount of MSCA funding. Here is the contribution for recruited researchers and for institutional contribution. Researcher will get money for living allowances, mobility allowances, and family allowance if applicable. Of course, also long-term leave allowances and special need allowances if applicable. Here I have to stress that living allowances have to be recalculated according to the country correction coefficient. Later I will show them. And beside contribution for the recruited researcher, there are also institutional unit contribution for research training and networking, and for indirect overhead contribution. So I think that those numbers will be slightly changed. European Commission announced that for this call the numbers will be higher due to the inflation and due to the new data for country correction coefficient. Here you can see the actual country correction coefficient. For instance, if you will come to Slovenia, you will get a little less than if you go to the Italy, or if you go to Austria, you will get more due to the living expenses, which are higher. So I would strongly recommend you to go into detail with my briefly explained information. There are a lot of formal, official, and unofficial documents. All of those documents which are here are available on the internet, and especially guide for applicants is very important. You will find here very defined definitions and all criteria explained into detail. As I said, MSCA work program is a very important funding and tender opportunity. As portal, of course, there are also many frequently asked questions. There are also MSCA guidelines on supervision, which is very, very important. And of course, MSCA Green Charter. So contribution of your project toward Green Deal is highly recommended. So you have to find how to connect your topics with the European Green Deal. And then, of course, MSCA Net Handbook, which is on the website I have briefly mentioned at the beginning. Especially, I would like to put attention for this booklet, which is very, very important because, yes, I said this is individual research projects for postdoctoral candidate, but you have to work very, very closely with the interaction with your supervisor, because do not forget that this is interdisciplinary project, and you have to broaden your knowledge, your skills, and without help of supervisor, it is impossible to prepare a successful document. Not only cooperation with supervisor, also with cooperation with your host institution. There are many, and I will explain you later, there are many evaluation sub-criteria where supervisor as well as host institutions are evaluated regarding their contribution towards the research and training projects. And this is the reason why European Commission decided to formulate this very, very important help and guidelines for potential candidates. And of course, I would also like to advise you to go into the Cordis webpage, where you can find the successful research MSCA postdoctoral fellowships with their abstract, with their objectives, and also with some reporting, annual or final reports, and as well with results. So I think that learning from this webpage is very advisable, and you will learn a lot. Excellence is, as I have already said, one of the first evaluation criteria, which count 50% of all evaluators scores, and there you will find four sub-criteria, which is very intensive, and you need to be very careful when you will describe your proposal in accordance to these sub-criteria. So the objectives, state of the art, and ambitions, how to go beyond of the state of the art, what level of creativity of your proposal show is one of the it is the first sub-criteria. And then methodology, which have to be interdisciplinary, and as well as gender and open science aspect. As you see, there are very different sub-criteria inside this one, which is methodology, and this is very challenging for you because as you will see later, this is one of the biggest weaknesses of all proposal: methodology and objectives, which have to be very specific, very measurable, reliable, and achievable during the 2 years. So I think that this is really challenging for you. And going further, training, relation with your supervisor, and a two-way transfer of knowledge, which is not a transfer to the economy or to the society, but the cooperation between you as a candidate and your host institution. So how you will transfer your knowledge to the host institution, and how host institution will give you the knowledge you needed for your further research career. So the two-way transfer of knowledge is the second biggest weaknesses of all proposals, and this is very challenging, and you need a strong help of your supervisor and institution here. And in the end, of course, your ability of a researcher, how you will realize the objectives you put in the beginning. So it is very, very simple, nothing special, but there are a lot of elements which have to be incorporated in your text, very precise and very detailed. So to conclude this excellence, so research aims, goals are at most important. You have to show the novelties, your creativity, methodology. Don't forget to explain how you will realize your aims, then your personal capacity as a researcher, collaboration, what kind of collaboration you will establish, not only with your supervisor, with your host institution, but also with the general scientific network, how you will transfer knowledge, your knowledge and knowledge from host institutions to you, and innovation aspect of training program, and capacity of your supervisor, and your career ambitions. What would you like to achieve? So these elements are very important. In MSCA handbook, you will find those description more detail. Just to remind you that there are a lot of useful tips how to write here, and here you can see some statistics of weaknesses and strengths, so of all proposals from the last year. And as you see, the one of the biggest strengths were research professional experience of candidates. So this is the most common features of good proposals. So you see it's a very high. Then objectives have to be not only research objectives, but also training objectives have to be very concise here, and methodology, as I said, this is the biggest weakness, as well as two-way transfer of knowledge. And here I have put top 5 weaknesses in excellence, more detail explained, and as you will see, there are a lot of detailed you have to think about. First of all, you have to be very detailed. You have to go deeper into the theme, and you have to take those reminder here very seriously. So methodology, two-way transfer of knowledge, state of the art, description of the state of the art, and what your project will bring to the knowledge on a global scale is very important. So the objectives have to be smart, as I say, specific, measurable, achievable, and reliable, and in achievable in timeline. And of course, the interdisciplinary approach, not just listing the disciplines, but to show how the disciplines have to integrate the synthesis of different disciplines. So I think this is the most important. So the number of pages is not predefined for excellence. So you are free to put it whatever you wish, but you have to know that also impact and implementations are very important. So the impact counted 30% and implementation 20%. So there are three sub-criteria. First of all, is your career perspectives and your potential employability. So your ambition, what would you like to achieve during your professional career? During your MSCA postdoctoral fellowships, you have to prepare together with your supervisor a career development plan, and this career development plan, and so the outline of this career development plan is very important, because the evaluator will evaluate the research goals and training programs according to your professional ambition. So what would you like to achieve in your future career path? So if you would like to go into academy, so the measures will be different. If you would like to establish let's say to a company and to commercialize your research results. So you see that all of those elements are very closely interconnected. So, and as well, employability is important, because European Commission would like to see what career development would you choose in your future. And very next one is a very demanding sub-criteria. It is dissemination, exploitation, and communication plan. So you have to show here how you will disseminate your research results to scientific community, to potential users, for instance, hospitals or pharmaceutical industry, and as well as to the general public. So you have to define a target unions, channels, and communication missions. What you would like to show, and when, and you have to show this in the Gantt diagram in the implementation part. So this is very tense, very intensive sub-disciplines, and the most challenging, I would say, it is the most simple one. It is the expected scientific, societal, and economic impact. So looks very simple, but it is not, because you have to be here very detailed. you have to show what will be the short-term, medium, and long-term impact in the field of society, economy, technology, or culture. So depend on your topic. So I think that this is very demanding, very demanding challenge. I think that everything what is here I have already mentioned. Looking the statistics, so you see that the dissemination plan is important. So and it is not a big problem because the scientific communication to the scientific audience is more or less something which all of you are very you know how to do this. Also career perspectives and employability is something which is not a big deal, I would say, but project contribution to the expected and societal and economic impact is a very important one. There is a lot of document how to imagine what kind of impact your project will achieve. So you need a lot of time and a lot of discussion with your host and with your colleagues, and especially with your supervisor, to attach this and for your how to say, for reminder how to tackle these demanding criteria. You will find here top 5 weaknesses in impact and some evaluator comments. So as you see, not sufficiently evidence on impact, not sufficiently elaborated, not adequately justified, messages are insufficiently detailed, and regarding exploitation, I have to mention additionally that the intellectual property right is very important, especially if you will produce or find some results which could be commercialized. In this case, you have to be very detailed. Of course, it is not your professional area to know what is going on with the intellectual property rights, but you have to cooperate with the patent office or with the patent sector on your host institution, and you have to mention how your host institution will protect your research results. So it is important. And the last criteria is the implementation, which is also very important because everything what you have what you will put in the excellence and in impact part, you have to show how and when you will implement. So the Gantt diagram, work plan, detailed description of work plan is very important, especially the timeline, efforts. So how long you will need, how many weeks or months you will need for implementation of your objectives is here very important. So the evaluators often look the objectives, methodology, and Gantt diagram together, because they are important. And here are important deliverables and milestones. So the monitoring, how the supervisor and your host institution will monitor your progress. So this part is very important, not only because you have to show for the next 2 or 3 years for each month what kind of activities you will perform, and you have also show that those timeline is efficient for implementation of your project, and you need here a strong cooperation with supervisor. So because you as a doctoral researchers, I assume that you do not have enough experience, and here you need experience for describing those part very detailed. And also risks are here very important. So it is the biggest problem for all candidates, because you have to imagine what could go wrong, and what kind of strategies you will implement if something will go wrong. So the imitation measures are here very important. So the risk management, and in the end, so you have to show the capacity and the quality of host institution. So as you see, it is individual projects, but also the host institution is part of the evaluation, and this is very important, because the host institutions have to be qualified with a good research references, with an intention to integrate you as a postdoctoral fellowships into the life and work of the institution, and here is the place you explain how the welcome and hosting will do. And as you see, statistics shows that the host institution and the quality is one of the most valuable evaluation criteria here. And what is wrong or what is challenging is the risk assessment. And as well as resource allocation, so the efforts, the time for realization of specific research and training goals. And also, just for your reminder, a lot of evaluators recommendations, what you need to do. You have planned your activities appropriately, very in detail. So the work packages have to have a strong connection, as you know, it is nothing new, with the research and training objectives, with the methodology, and work plan have to be transparent, very clear, and useful for monitoring. So deliverables and milestones are for monitoring, and you have to put this very wisely into Gantt diagram. And in the end, some general tips I would like to sum up. So it is, of course, all details are very important, but the main issue is your creativity, your novelty, your ambition, and you have to show that this project is for realizing your ambition, and you have to show what kind of knowledge you need for realizing your ambition for future career. So MSCA, postdoctoral fellowship, is for advancing research career and innovation career, of course, and you have to show here very, very clear why you will perform these postdoctoral fellowships. Networking is important. It is, as I said many times, it is individual projects, but you have to work together with your colleagues, with your institutions, with your supervisors, with the global scientific community. So you have to show how you will communicate. And of course, communication and dissemination, as we said, it is at most important. European Commission would like to see that general public and specific target audience will be informed with your project, and of course you have to show that your knowledge will be transferred to all of those who will need for scientific or for some exploitation commercial process. So practically, I would like to suggest you to start writing early enough, because 10 pages, it's not big deal, but there are a lot of detail. You have to cooperate with your host institutions, make a checklist with all evaluation criteria. There are many documents. If you will take MSCA handbook as a checklist, so I think that more than half of the efforts you will already done. Then yes, of course, you need some help with experts and also with non-experts to read, to check your proposal. Language is very important, as well as scientific proof of your state of the art, of your methodology, and also Marie Curie NCPs are available. Also personally, me are available for proofreading. If you will send us your proposal, we will be more than happy to read it and send you our reflection about methodological issues, of course, not for the content. Yes, abstract keywords are very important. I will not go into detail here, just to remind you that keywords are important because the evaluators will choose regarding the keywords, and there is also the writing style is also very important. So the proposal are written as a scientific paper. So this is the most common issue which have to be removed. So research project is not a research paper. It is a description of your ambition, of your objectives, which have to be very, very clear. Methodology have to be very clear. So you have to show how you will perform your proposal, So also you have to use a CV as an additional source of explaining of your capacity, and well, for all of other details, we as NCPs are available for you. Well, this is more or less the all what I would like to say you today. It was very, very general, I know, but I hope that I have remind you which elements are important. And for more detail, I'm available for you for individual consultation or written, so any time. So thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.